Sarah and Jamie were inseparable as children. They lived on the same street, 2 doors down from each other. Their laughter echoed in the summer evenings as they chased fireflies.
We built forts in the woods behind our homes, whispering secrets only we shared.
Their bond was unbreakable, or so they thought. Years passed, and the innocence of childhood faded. High school came and went, filled with new friendships and experiences.
We drifted apart, our paths diverging like rivers flowing in different directions.
Their once constant communication dwindled to occasional birthday cards, then silence. Life went on. Sarah moved to the city, chasing a career in journalism. The memories of her childhood of Jamie became a bittersweet ache in her heart. A reminder of simpler times, of a bond that time and distance had eroded. The last time anyone saw Jamie was the summer they turned 18. It was a summer filled with laughter, dreams, and the promise of a bright future. It was a scorching July day, the air thick with humidity, the kind of day where the heat seems to cling to your skin, making every movement feel like a chore. Jamie had been acting strangely, withdrawn and secretive. Friends noticed the change, but chalked it up to the stress of impending adulthood.
I've been having this recurring dream, Sarah. It's vivid and unsettling. Every night it's the same. There's a hidden place and people who can control time itself. It feels so real, like I'm actually there.
Oh, Jamie, it's just your imagination running wild. You need to relax and not let these dreams get to you.
Sarah, ever the pragmatist, dismissed it as an overactive imagination. She believed Jamie was just stressed about their future. She attributed his odd behavior to the stress of their upcoming graduation, an impending separation as they headed off to different universities. They'd been inseparable for years, and the thought of parting ways was daunting. She would regret that dismissal for years to come. The weight of her words would haunt her, a constant reminder of what she could have done differently. Jamie disappeared without a trace. One moment he was there, and the next he was gone. No goodbye, no note, no forwarding address. It was as if he had vanished into thin air, leaving behind only questions and heartache. The police investigation was inconclusive. Despite their best efforts, they found no leads, no clues to explain his sudden disappearance. His parents, heartbroken and bewildered, never gave up hope. They clung to the belief that one day Jamie would return to them. But as months turned into years, the trail ran cold. The seasons changed, but the mystery of Jamie's disappearance remained unsolved. Jamie became a ghost, a whisper of what once was. His absence left a void that could never be filled, a lingering question that haunted those who loved him. Years later, Sarah found herself back in their hometown. The streets were just as she remembered, lined with familiar shops and faces that seemed to have aged along with her. The newspaper she worked for had sent her to cover a local story. It was a routine assignment, but for Sarah, it felt like stepping into a time capsule. As she sat in a quaint cafe, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee filling her senses, she couldn't help but feel a wave of nostalgia wash over her. A figure at the counter caught her eye. It was a posture she knew all too well, one that had been etched into her memory.
It couldn't be, could it? Her heart raced as she tried to make sense of what she was seeing.
The man had his back to her, but something about his posture, the way he stood, was unmistakable. The way he held himself sent a jolt of recognition through Sarah. It was as if time had stood still. It was like looking at a ghost, a phantom from a past she thought was gone forever. Memories flooded back, each one more vivid than the last. He turned and her breath hitched in her throat. The years melted away in that instant.
Jamie? Her voice was barely a whisper, filled with a mix of hope and disbelief.
But that was impossible. Jamie had disappeared years ago without a trace. He looked exactly the same as the day he vanished. Not a single feature had changed. Time, it seemed, had forgotten him. It was as if he had been frozen in that moment. The same tousled brown hair, slightly messy but charming, the same mischievous glint in his eyes, always hinting at some unspoken joke, the same familiar dimple when he smiled, a smile that could light up a room. But his eyes held a depth, a weariness that belied his youthful appearance. They told a story of their own, one that Sarah was desperate to understand.
Jamie, is that really you?
He turned, his face breaking into a slow, hesitant smile.
Sarah, is that really you?
He looked the same, yet different. Older, wiser, but undeniably Jamie. The years had etched lines on Sarah's face, painted silver streaks in her hair. Yet here he stood, untouched by time. It was unnerving, exhilarating, and utterly baffling.
But how? You haven't aged a day.
Jamie's smile faltered. A shadow flickered across his eyes, a darkness that spoke of secrets and hidden truths.
It's a long story, Sarah. A story I never thought I'd have to tell.
Over cups of lukewarm coffee, Jamie revealed the truth, as fantastical and unbelievable as it seemed. The words hung in the air, almost too surreal to grasp.
I spoke of the dreams, more vivid and real with each passing night. Each dream felt like a journey to another world, a place where time and reality intertwined. Dreams that led me to a hidden society, a clandestine organization known as the Kronos Initiative. They were shrouded in mystery, their existence known only to a select few.
The Kronos Initiative, he explained, dedicated itself to unraveling the mysteries of time. They delved into ancient texts and cutting-edge science, seeking to control the very fabric of existence. They had discovered a way to manipulate its flow, to slow it down, even halt it completely. It was a power that defied the natural order.
I was chosen for my unique connection to the temporal realm. My dreams were the key, a bridge to their world. I had become their subject, their experiment. They saw me as a vessel, a means to an end.
Jamie's voice softened, a mixture of wonder and regret. He had seen things beyond imagination, but at a cost he hadn't foreseen.
They promised me eternal life, Sarah. But at what cost? The allure of immortality had blinded me to the sacrifices I would have to make. I was a fool to believe them, to leave everything behind. My family, my friends, my very essence of being.
He spoke of the isolation, the loneliness of being untethered from the natural rhythm of life. It was a solitude that gnawed at his soul.
I watched friends and loved ones age, their lives flickering by like fireflies in the night. Each moment a reminder of what I had lost, while I remained frozen in time, an observer, never a participant. I yearned for connection, for the simple joys of growing old, of sharing laughter and tears, of experiencing life's tapestry in its entirety, the beauty of fleeting moments, the richness of a life fully lived.
Sarah listened, her journalist's mind struggling to reconcile with the impossible tale unfolding before her. It sounded like something out of a science fiction novel, yet here was Jamie, living proof of the impossible. She saw the pain in his eyes, the yearning for a life he could no longer have.
He explained that the Kronos Initiative had been monitoring him, even after all these years. They knew he'd contacted her, and they wouldn't hesitate to silence him if he revealed too much. Their reach was vast, their methods ruthless.
Sarah knew she was in over her head, yet she couldn't turn her back on Jamie. Not again.
We need to find a way to break their hold on you, to reverse what they've done.
There's no reversing it, Sarah. The process is irreversible, or so they claim. I'm trapped, a prisoner in my own ageless existence.
Days turned into weeks as Sarah delved deeper into the mystery surrounding the Kronos Initiative. She pored over old files, scoured online databases, and followed every lead, no matter how tenuous. The organization was a phantom, leaving no trace of its existence, yet the more she learned, the more convinced she became of its reality. She discovered rumors of missing scientists, unexplained disappearances, and whispers of a shadowy group experimenting with forbidden knowledge. It was a dangerous game she was playing, but she was determined to help Jamie. He was her friend, her family, and she wouldn't abandon him to this strange and lonely fate. The weight of Jamie's secret, the knowledge that time itself was being manipulated, pressed down on Sarah. She felt a strange disassociation with the world around her, the mundane routines of life, a stark contrast to the extraordinary situation unfolding before her.
Jamie tried to dissuade her, to convince her to walk away before it was too late. He knew the risks, the dangers involved in challenging the Kronos Initiative.
But Sarah was unwavering in her determination. She had lost him once to silence. She wouldn't lose him again to fear. Together, they devised a plan, risky and daring. They would use Sarah's platform as a journalist to expose the Kronos Initiative, to shine a light on their clandestine activities. It was a long shot, but it was their only hope. Sarah knew the risks. She could be silenced, discredited, or worse, but she had made her choice. She was willing to risk everything to help Jamie, to give him a chance at a life he deserved, a life free from the shackles of manipulated time. The story ends on a cliffhanger. Sarah, armed with the truth about Jamie's situation and the Kronos Initiative, prepares to publish her exposé, but will she succeed in exposing them? And what will become of Jamie? The ending remains shrouded in mystery, leaving the reader to ponder the implications of manipulating time and the enduring power of friendship in the face of the unknown. Will Sarah's gamble pay off? Or will the Kronos initiative silence her before she can reveal their secrets? And can Jamie ever truly escape the clutches of an organization that holds the very fabric of time in their hands? Only time, it seems, holds the answer.